to the Upshot, multi-world disc golf podcast about the latest in the disc golf world. We've got a very special bonus episode this week as we get to break down all things Estonia and the European Disc Golf Festival. Josh has been in Estonia, well, now Finland, but had been in Estonia for almost a week. And joining us once again is the EDGF Director of Operations, Matthias Vutt. Matthias, welcome back, first of all.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me.
Did you survive? It's been, I know it's a whirlwind to host the tournament of this scale.
Yeah, I'm good. Two nights of good sleep and live and kicking again.
Awesome. Well, we're going to focus today on both the tournament, Josh's experience at the tournament, also Josh's experience in Estonia. Josh, you're going to have to become ready with some food pics and stuff like that. We'll, for the YouTube version, we're going to put up a little photo montage. People can check it out. I want to just say right off the top, thanks again to Visit Estonia for covering the cost of Josh's travel out to Estonia and being there, and just want to be fully transparent about that. But Josh, it sounds like it was just a wonderful time. So, let's zoom out. We talked tons of golf earlier this week. What were your thoughts on the event? And, this now just 2-year-old EDGF.
I made an Instagram post on Multi-World Disc Golf, and if you haven't gone over and followed, there's a couple of things that were happening over there and some great info. But when you walk, we have the media side that I was coming in, and like the player side. But if you are a fan, you come in through the gate, the C gate is kind of what they call it. I don't remember. That's the rough translation, but it's like a tunnel with flags, like 100 flags overlooking the sea. Beautiful. You look up and you've got this perfect framed image of the amphitheater at the Tallinn Songground festivals. And you come walking up, and as soon as you get there, you have on your walking the gate, you've got 2 holes, left side, right side. Completely easy to see, spectate both holes. You got the players area on your left. And then over to the left, you have probably, from standing at that spot, you could probably see 8 to 10 unique holes. If you really, literally could stand right there at the end of the entrance and see almost half of the course. And so to know, where you want to go, what you want to see, very easy to spectate right there. You then have this massive vendor village that has, Matthias, how many food options were there?
I think there were 9 different food vendors.
9 different food vendors. There were so 9 different food vendors, and we're not talking like we're not talking like chips and a sandwich kind of food vending, right? I had a poke bowl one day. I had a grilled meat and French fry platter. I had a pulled pork Korean barbecue sandwich. Variety of drinks, desserts, just piles of really, really good quality food that I have I didn't expect that level of food at an event. So great, and there's tons of tables with a massive board, visual board that they're running DGN on. And so it was remarkable because at any point, I don't think the camera did justice for how many spectators were there, because you would have 100, 200, 300 people sitting, watching, enjoying food, drinks, and watching from that spot. And then that's not to mention, the big amphitheater where people were sitting in the VIP area. And then the other part is there were so many people there who very clearly were not familiar with disc golf, but they brought their families because there was a petting zoo. There was a bounce house obstacle course. There were putting games for the kids. There were free ice cream treats. Heard, I don't know what those, with the giant cat that was on hole, 12, Matthias? What's that dessert with the chocolate vanilla thing?
I don't know what's the English name, but it's some kind of, I don't know. I will send it later. I don't know.
It almost was like an ice cream sandwich sort of thing, but with a Greek yogurt taste in the middle.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good. But it really was it felt like a festival, right? Like with activities and games and things to do in addition to the disc golf.
And so I'll ask Matthias, like, how did you feel about where the tournament is in terms of, you know, some amenities for spectators? Course, not relevant. Like food, other things, kids stuff, whatever that means to you. Like, are you feeling really good about where that is, or do you still have a lot more that you want to do?
Well, yeah, naturally we have some notes from this year as well, that there are certain areas where we can definitely improve. But overall, the experience was from the fans' perspective or the spectators' perspective, it was really good. We are still putting together some feedback forms and stuff like that. So we are actually asking the spectators what did they experience and what could be done better and so forth. So we are doing it every year. So we know that we can. So we know that how to improve and what to improve. So yeah. And then the second thing is that we kind of don't have like any more land that we can use inside of the Tallinn Song Festival grounds. So pretty much each square meter was used for something. So even if we want to improve something, then we can pretty much only switch some vendors, or I don't know, bring a better petting zoo or a better bouncy house. So in terms of that, we don't have too much area to play around with. Yeah, I think this is the overall emotion that we have at the moment.
Matthias, I want to know what you think are like the 2 or 3 things that went the best and the 2 or 3 things that need the most work. I know it's only been a couple days, so you haven't had a chance to really like fully debrief, but just like from your perspective.
Well, what went the best? Weather, number one. This is always the most trickiest part in Estonia. So you know that we had this really rainy weather before the event, and luckily everything went fine, and we have this wonderful summertime now in Estonia. So in terms of that, we couldn't wish for a better weather. What else? I think that how the tournament played out was also pretty wonderful, even though Kristen didn't win. But in terms of the drama, in terms of the first-time major winners, in terms of who actually came on top, and also how the leaderboard looked, I think it shows that this course, I think we will talk about the course later as well, actually showed that it's an honest course, and there weren't like too many surprises. All the best players in the world showed that they are the ones that are capable of attacking this course. And everyone else who are, if we look at the world rankings as well, for the players that are from, I don't know, top 20, top 30, they didn't come up to like top 10 or top 5, because the course really, how to put it? Yeah, I think it's just a really fair course in terms of that you need to execute all the shots constantly, and if you don't do it, then it will punish you really hard. And what didn't go that well, I think the most worrying part for us is and it happened the first time, is that in such a small country like Estonia, you can't have 2 large-scale sports events at the same time. I know that we can't do anything about it, but at the same time, in this other part of Estonia, there was WRC Rally Estonia going on, and they just published the numbers. So they had 53,000 spectators during 4 days, and
Wow.
we had like over 15,000. So definitely they took some of the spectators away from us. One side is the spectator side, and the second side is also the supporter side or the sponsor side. So it makes things really hard for the sponsors as well to be at the same, like two different events at the same time. So yeah, I think these are the like main things for us that we learned this year.
Are you able to communicate with them for Worlds? Like, have you reached out to the organizers and said, "Hey, we have this event in 4 years. Please, we cannot have them overlapping in 4 years."
Yeah, well, one of the main organizers of EDGF, Silver Kütt, is also one of the main organizers of Rally Estonia as well. So he actually went back and forth between the two. But we tried to do it this year as well already. But at the end of the day, we aren't the ones who are deciding when this event will happen. So for the rally, it's the WRC promoter, and for our event, it's PDGA. So at the end of the day, PDGA said that, hey guys, you have this week or that week, and we pretty much we could only pick this week because the other week that they gave to us, the Italian Song Festival ground, was already booked. And for the rally, it was pretty much the same, that the WRC promoter just said that, hey, you have this week and take it or leave it. So yeah, at the end of the day, we can't basically do anything about it. But looking forward, next year, we are hosting the major in June, and WRC rally will be in July. So we don't have that problem in next year.
How did you feel overall about the number of spectators that you got this weekend?
Well, yeah, our goal was to get about 15,000 spectators. We managed to do so. So I don't have the exact numbers yet, but it's somewhere around 15,500 or something like that. So in terms of that, we did a great job. I think it definitely helped that Kristin was playing good, Mauri was playing good, Katie was playing good. That there weren't someone who was leading with like 10 strokes or something like that. So yeah, I think from the sports perspective, everything was running smoothly, and this helped us a lot as well.
The Upshot is presented by Pound Disc Golf, makers of the best bags in the sport. Well, if you're already a Pound bag wearer, or you just want to rep the brands, even if you got a different bag, get yourself a brand new hoodie or t-shirt with the 10th anniversary Pound artwork. They've got the Bighorn Sheep, Pound, established 2015, pretty swaggy looking thing. I got an old school Pound t-shirt. I wear it on the pod sometimes. You got to keep an eye out for it. But really nice new design, and got a little hoodie for the cooler weather that's coming our way eventually, or got a t-shirt for summertime. Check it out over at pounddiscgolf.com.
When you look at Worlds and you're looking forward over the next 4 years, where do you think this tournament can get to in its growth potential?
Well, I think the first thing is that let's wait and see how it plays out in Finland. I will be there next weekend as well. We're gonna meet Jussi and Dag and the other PDGA officials as well. So let's see if they will have, like, I don't know, 20,000 spectators or more. Finland is a lot bigger country. They have over 4 million people. We have 1.3 million people. So I think this will give us some kind of understanding what's the maximum for us, probably. Of course, we don't know how the sport grows in the next 4 to 5 years, but yeah, I think this will be a pretty good estimate for us as well. But otherwise, I think we definitely need to continue making the course better. We will probably introduce the second course in 28, the latest. We already went through it with the BDJ guys. So and if the second course will be in Kadriorg, the presidential park, We know that we can't close it down, so it will be probably something similar to Nokia, where a lot of people will get in free, and there are just some designated ticket zones. So I think a big portion of World's crowd will come from those spectators that will get in free. And if we take the same model, then I think there could be, I don't know, 10,000 more spectators for us as well, especially when we are talking about the World. So
Right.
yeah, there's definitely more room to grow, and we still have a lot of ideas in terms of the like show elements that we could improve. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the budget. So if we can increase our budget, we can get, I don't know, more fireworks, more LED screens and stuff like that as well.
Let's talk about the course. And Josh, I want you to weigh in first. How did you feel like it played for the pros, and where do you feel like there's room for improvement?
Yeah, I think that Matthias is right that it was funny, like as you go, because it was so easy to spectate so many holes in such close proximity, you could watch one card and then bounce to the next card and bounce to the next card and not miss a single throw. And so as I was doing that, especially on days 1 and 2, it was remarkable how the further ahead on the course I was, the lower the card I'm watching, the more the OB was coming into play, the lines were more difficult, the putts were further, and it was almost just like 5 degrees for 5%, 10% more difficult every card I advanced, to the point that by the time you are watching like hole 16 or hole 15, for example, which is 4 or 5, 6 cards down, like that course looked like it had some real serious teeth. And then the lead card kind of makes it look routine, right? And it's difficult because on hole 15, Calvin's drive was short, and and that's the one with the island green. And so Calvin's drive's short, and I'm like, okay, this looks like it's going to be a tricky shot. And he threw in the headwind this like perfect baby flex that lands right next to the green, and it looks routine. But that's a really, really like high difficulty of execution to do that consistently and not accidentally overturn it and catch a tree, or undercommit it and then hit the tree and fall in the water. Like it's these guys are the top of the sport, and it gets to the point that they make it look easy in a lot of elements. I think that there's two things though that are really going for it. Is number one, mistakes are incredibly punishing. You have to be perfect all week long, and any lapse in that perfection is pretty quickly punished. And I think that that's something that's like a really big benefit in terms of like actually creating a fair and like meaningful course for the major. The second thing that I think is beneficial is that those elements of execution are more difficult when there's the number of spectators present. If you were out in the woods, or in the middle of nowhere, and this is the course that you're playing, then I think that would be very different. But I think that it would be disingenuous to disassociate the idea of how the course plays and the fact that we want it built for spectators, and pretend that those two things don't have a correlation or have an influence on each other. Because when you have people lining both sides of the fairway and behind the green, even routine shots can become significantly more nervy, more difficult. You've got noise. I mean, despite an excellent volunteer staff trying to keep people quiet, you've got people who are making noise when you're throwing, and the ability to just focus on what you're doing is a skill that has to be challenged, and I think is appropriately challenged on this course. Changes that can be made. I think that there are, especially on the par fours, making the landing zones for the drive tighter, so that there is more risk if you want to push, because a lot of the upshots were pretty straightforward. Once you made your drive, the upshot in a lot of the par fours could be pretty straightforward. And so if you made it significant, like the risk reward of going further and further on the drive, increasing the risk, then you might see players taking a little bit softer. I think of hole 10, hole 10, there's very little risk on the drive. Your pros really aren't going to screw that up. And so you can really just like push a fairway or a distance driver as far as you want. And then you're left with 200 feet at most, but some players were left with even less. Bring that OB in, make that drive risky further up. And then the pros have to decide how much they want to challenge the OB to give themselves an easier upshot. So that's the biggest thing on the par fours that I saw as being the area that we could make some adjustments.
And Matthias, what are your thoughts, having watched the top guys absolutely rip this course apart?
I think during the final round, we were walking with Ralph, who was responsible for the course together with Seppo, and said that what if we try to totally re-envision the course after this? We played around with some ideas, and I think it was like 10 minutes later when we saw BDJ's Phil Deloney said that, hey, don't change anything. so it's a pretty controversial. So I think from BDJ's perspective, they have seen that this course works, and we will definitely improve it. And we know that we saw that those par fours were a bit soft this year. Last year we had instead of the par fours, we had I think 2 or 3 par threes that were really hard. And then again, we got some feedback from the players that they were too hard. Some players couldn't reach them, and so we tried to improve this by installing some par fours, and now it seems that they are too easy. So at the end of the day, there isn't a perfect course in this world. So each year we will definitely try to improve some elements, and then some elements will be bad again, and I think it's just something that evolves each year, and we are trying to do the best we can, and I know we have some additional land next to the 4th hole, which is already outside of the Tallinn Song Festival grounds. So we probably can build something there as well. So yeah, on one hand, I agree that this course got teared apart, but at the same time, I think it wasn't that bad, because at the end of the day, like I said before, there were about 10 top guys that only could do it. Everyone else was still struggling. They were shooting like -5s, -4s, stuff like that, having huge mistakes on some of the holes. And at the end of the day, the course was fair, and the people who got to the podium were the ones that should be there. So yeah.
Yeah, there's no question that the course was fair. I definitely did not hear anybody saying fluky, random, none of that. I mean, they just simply weren't shots. I mean, like, of course, there's always like, you get a good kick, you get a bad kick, but
yeah,
like this was pure disc golf, like distilled. Like if you threw the clean shot, you got birdie, and if you didn't, you are definitely not getting anything better than par, and you're probably taking bogey because you kicked OB. I'll share my thoughts. I think there needs to be more done to differentiate the holes some. There's too many holes that feel the same. And you got to make the par 4. It's not even really about making them harder as much as it is changing the like dynamic of the holes so that the upshots aren't so easy. Because I feel like there were just too many holes where the power arms, the top guys, are throwing at 500 feet and they have like 200 feet into the green, and it's just like a little chip shot. So there's a lot of ways that could happen. I mean, you can make them longer, but you could also add Mandos, or you can change the shape of the green, or, I think, as I said on the pod on Tuesday, looking to what USDGC has done with similarly like not ideal property in terms of like you wouldn't plan to put a disc golf course here, but they have created a lot of differentiation in terms of the hole shapes and things. And, some of it is also just like time on tour, but I do think that there are some really good holes, and there are some holes that you kind of wait for because they are hard. It's like, okay, we're finally to hole 7. Like, now that people have had 6 birdies in a row, are they going to have a problem here on 7? But there's not enough holes like that, in my opinion. So I think just finding a way to create some more, it doesn't need to be length challenge. It needs to be like shot making challenge or just risk reward decision. Like, if you want to push it, then fine, but then the OB narrows in, so you can't just blast it and not really care where you land. That to me is like the biggest thing to kind of like take this course. That is just, again, like we can admit it, like it's not a perfect piece of property for a disc golf course, but it has all of these other benefits that we've talked about. But you got to find a way to make it so that we're not seeing like, 15, 16 unders, just sort of like feeling like they're comfortable. Again, yes. Are we talking about only the very top 2% of players? Yes. But, I think in some ways you almost have to design the course for them. Josh?
Yeah, but
go ahead,
at the same time, we need to think about the core essence of our team as well. So we don't want to compromise the spectator experience. So at the end of the day, this course could play much easier as well, and we would still have, I don't know, 15,000 people there.
Right.
At the end of the day, the spectators on the spot don't pretty much care about it. They just want to see the top pros shredding the course. They want to see some drama. They want to get this like ultimate disc golf fan experience. And I think at this we are the best in the world right now, and we definitely see we see that we can improve this as well. And if this comes from, or if we have to compromise this by making some course changes, then it will be really difficult for us to proceed with the course changes, because at that point it might just backfire. And we definitely, like I told you like a week ago when we were recording the first pod. So in our perspective, the fan experience is the most important thing there. This is the only way how we can crew the sport. If we are only looking at how to improve the course, then at the end of the day, only the super disc golf fans will appreciate it, and we wouldn't have any fans there. So yeah.
Completely understand. I don't disagree. I don't think this needs to be the hardest course on tour. In fact, I think that a very birdieable, attackable course yields the kinds of tight races that make people want to stay engaged throughout 4 rounds. I do think, though, that there's room to make alterations and increase shapes and challenges without dramatically changing the property or like compromising the fan side of things. Because I also think you have a responsibility to all the people who watch online, which are many thousands, many thousands more right now than the people who are on site. And I know that that's not your primary goal, and that's not maybe even like something that you care too much about, since you guys aren't running the live broadcast. But I think that there's room for improvement without changing the fundamental fact that this is designed to be a spectator first event.
Yep.
Josh, tell us more about Estonia.
Yeah.
What did you expect coming in, and what kind of like matched your expectations, and where did the things go? Were you surprised by?
I don't know the best way to put this without sounding just like a terribly ignorant person, but I have to sell myself out here. I had no expectations. I outside of like I consider myself pretty well informed. Like, I've lived in Europe. I studied international relations. Like, I consider myself like conscientious of the world around me. I had no clue what to expect going to Estonia. I had zero. Like, I knew that Kristen was from Estonia. I knew Katie was from Estonia. I knew that they had a big song festival with a massive amphitheater that when Kristen told me was related to the revolution, like that I was new information to me. Like, There you go. I think that's about the expectations that I had. I really had no clue what I was going to be seeing when I got there. And it did not disappoint as a tourist. And in fact, it was one of the best tourist experiences I've ever had. Show up to the airport. It's clean. It's nice. It's a little small, but it has a kids' playroom or playground, like with a swing set and a slide. It's got lots of great looking food. It's got a little workout area, like all comfortable spots to work, like beautiful airport. I'm like, oh, okay. I'd be fine to chill here for a few hours on my way out of here, which I'm going to have to do, by the way, with timing stuff. So I'm like, great. Okay. I'm going to be comfortable while I'm hanging out in this airport. So I come out of the airport. Matthias picks me up. We head over to the hotel. Hotel's 5 minutes away. Right. And very clearly I could have gotten some sort of, whether it's Uber or like Bolt here, or taken the train, whatever. Right. I could have gotten to my hotel quite easily, or a bus. The hotel was 5 minutes away. It was across the street from the venue. So I just got to walk back and forth from my room and the disc golf. And that was incredibly easy. And then I went disc golfing while I was there. I got the ride share. I picked it. They picked me up. They dropped me off. I played disc golf. I came back. It was easy. It was close. There was like a great disc golf course within 10 minutes. And then we go and we tour Old Tallinn, and we went through the tunnels underneath the bastion and did like a little history tour, and then had dinner at like a medieval themed restaurant where there was like everything was wood. There was no artificial lighting. It was all candles.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. The history and the stories were fantastic. It was like people who go. I lived in Paris. I lived in Paris for a year. I did all the tourist things in Paris. I did the tours. I did the history. And for people, and I understand like the general cultural like appeal that Paris has in people's minds, at least in the US. And if you are a history person who enjoys doing those kind of tours, the Old Tallinn tour felt on par with a lot of those tours that I did in Paris. But the difference was after we finished dinner, we're walking back to our bus that had taken us over there. And like, there's, I don't know, 1/100th of the people on the streets. Like disc golfers are playing Frisbee in town square while people are eating in restaurants around it. Like we're just walking down. It's comfortable. The thought of bringing my 1.5-year-old to Paris sounds like a nightmare, right? Managing strollers, trying to get around people, doing all the things. I said this earlier, maybe it was on the Reacts, or maybe it was on Tuesday's show, but, and I'll say it again here. I would 100% and plan on bringing my family back for Worlds because it would be such an easy family vacation where we get to do fun tours and go to the beach and be by the sea and watch disc golf. And it really did feel like a destination and tourist trip, and I had zero expectations going in.
It sounds fantastic. I was just looking at the history of Tallinn, and like there's signs of a small hunter fisherman community's presence in the city center from about 5,000 years ago, and then in 1050 the first fortress was built there. It's really cool. I mean, Europe is just amazing in general, but Matthias, like what do Estonians think of like when they think of Estonia? Like what comes to mind like about how your country fits into the world and into the region, and like how that maybe comes across in the tourism side of when people visit?
Yeah, well, naturally, if someone visits Estonia, then the first thing you say that, hey, go visit the old town. So it looks great. It has a lot of history and so forth. But I think the second thing that Josh probably didn't got to experience is the like wilder side of Estonia. So we have a lot of like forest, bogs, stuff like that. So there's like so much going on if you exit Tallinn. So one of the cleanest airs in the world. A lot of forests, a lot of wildlife, cool small towns, stuff like that. So, and I think the third thing is the IT side of Estonia. So we are like extremely advanced in terms of the IT solutions that we have. I don't know, you can file up your taxes in like 2 minutes from your phone, and everything's pretty much
Americans
online,
would
so,
never understand.
No.
yeah, I know. So yeah, you have those e-residency programs, and basically you can do pretty much everything from your phone when it comes to taxes, bank things, ID cards, whatever you need. So yeah, I think we are a small nation, and we definitely have improved in a lot of those. I don't know what's the correct word. Like big systems or something like that. That we have handled them really nicely, so that we can move quickly and we can change things up pretty quickly, and yeah. I don't know. It's really hard to speak about Estonia when you live here and to market it. So, but yeah, I think these three are the main things.
One last thing I'll add. My biggest worry when it comes to tourism, and I had Matthias, so obviously not as big of a deal. But the thing I always said is like, if I'm ever on vacation in Europe, I just go back to France because I can speak the language, so I can get around. I didn't have any issues with any travel anywhere. Like everyone spoke enough English that I had no difficulties getting around, and that was like something I just had no clue whether or not I was going to have trouble with that. So that was another convenient point that like made it so that I would totally come back on my own and not have an issue with it.
All right, Josh, we got to know best Estonian food that you had.
I had a braised like rib with potatoes and a I don't know, some sort of salad that was in the VIP tent. Actually, that was excellent. It was really, really good. That was phenomenal. I will say as well, the duck at the medieval restaurant was really good. Is that
duck,
the best?
Duck is delicious.
The duck, it's probably the duck. It was probably the duck and the lentils, or the barley. We had I think it was barley. It was like a barley salad with duck. That has to take the win. That's the win. That was really, really good. That's my answer. Food was all excellent though. It was all phenomenal. If you ever go to Europe and haven't like the doner kebabs, like so good. I think I had like 3 of those. I missed them so much.
Gotta get them fast food when you're in Europe.
They're so good.
I actually completely agree with you. I still think about a kebab that I had in Berlin.
Yes,
like 10 years ago.
They're so good.
Matthias, before Josh leaves the region, is there anything that he needs to make sure that he tries? Like when he comes back through, I mean, he's in Finland now, but he'll be back in Estonia. So anything that he must try?
Blood sausage, probably.
Okay.
I think I had that did they have that at the breakfast one time?
No.
Okay.
Very worst.
Yeah. Very worst. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly.
Okay. I'll make sure to find it.
So good.
Yeah.
Charlie, I've got one last thing I've got to do.
Okay.
We had 2 giveaways on Ulti World Disc Golf.
Oh yeah. Are we announcing the winners?
We're announcing the winners here.
Let's go.
Winners, we've got Kevin, who won the set of Graham discs, which are an Estonian-based disc golf company. They are not available yet in the U.S., and so
that is what a win.
Look. Yeah. So Kevin gets a 3 set from Graham Disc, courtesy of the European Disc Golf Festival. So big thanks to them. And the winner who picked Silva and Calvin to win, and we'll get a signed European Disc Golf Festival disc from them, is Jake from Bay Area Disc Golf. So
Oh, wow.
I will get those sent out to
Congratulations.
you both when I get home. I'm not going to ship them internationally, so you're going to be a couple weeks out.
We can't
but
be
I'll reach
risking
out.
the tariffs. We can't be having any of
It's
that.
not doing it. Not doing it. So
No.
all in all, though, like I just want to express my deepest gratitude to both Matthias and to Visit Estonia and European Disc Golf Festival, because it was it really was a trip of a lifetime. And if you have always wanted to and it's not just a trip in terms of like it's a tourist trip without a doubt, but the courses I've already played over here in Europe, watching the disc golf, and the fact that like I could totally bring my family here for this event. Like this is a destination disc golf event, more so than countless others that we have on the professional level. And so whether it's the major or Worlds in 4 years, like I will be back without a doubt. And I am incredibly grateful, Matthias, that you reached out and afforded me this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Matthias, how was Josh as a guest? Get this guy out of here.
Yeah. No, he was great. So I think the communication part was really, really good, and we basically exchanged a lot of messages through WhatsApp. Josh could even walk the course at some point. I think Ralph brought him onto the course. No spectators are actually allowed on the course, so he had a pretty big privilege in terms of that. And yeah, I think he was a great sport. So he was attending all the things that we have planned for him, and yeah.
Awesome.
That's it.
Well, I will also say thank you, Matthias. Thank you to Visit Estonia. Remind us of the schedule for this tournament moving forward. It's like we're building up to the Worlds in 2029, but what do we have before that through the next 3 years?
So next year, from the 18th till the 21st of June, we will host the only European major in Tallinn Song Festival grounds again. So in 27, we are still in talks with DGPT for hosting a DGPT event. So 28, again, a major. We don't have the dates yet. And so 29, it's the Worlds, and we don't have the date range yet. So yeah, make sure to book your tickets for next year's event. We already are selling the tickets. So
awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. And good luck with all of the finalizing everything from this year's event and with everything moving forward.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Matthias Vutt with us here on the Upshot. Josh is in Finland. We will be back next week with our World's preview show, and then off we go for the World Championships. Matthias, you going?
Yep, I will be there next weekend.
Hell
See you
yeah.
over there.
Yeah,
all right.
See you.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to this bonus edition of The Upshot, and we'll talk to you next week.